On the evening of May 31st, a controversial internet celebrity known as Ironhead in China was spotted at the Yasukuni shrine in Tokyo. Taking advantage of the quiet night, he urinated on a pillar with the inscription Yasukuni Shrine and then spray painted the word toilet on it in red. Before this act, Ironhead filmed the high property prices around Yasukuni Shrine, implying that Japanese society lacks self-reflection, and using this as a so-called justification for his behavior. This emotional setup undoubtedly laid the groundwork for the video's spread. In the video, Ironhead spoke in English at the shrine saying, "I firmly oppose Japan's decision to release nuclear-contaminated water. We cannot stand by and do nothing. I want to show them our resistance." Afterward, Ironhead uploaded another video stating that he had returned to China. On June 1st, the Japanese police cordoned off the site to collect evidence. They started an investigation into Ironhead, whose real name is Dong Guanming, and accused him of property damage. The graffiti incident involving Ironhead at Japan's Yasukuni Shrine has caused an uproar online. A controversial internet celebrity, after being banned from the internet, resorted to extreme actions, violated Japanese law, and breached international conventions, yet managed to garner a significant amount of attention. However, Ironhead's inappropriate actions have been met with overwhelming condemnation from the Japanese public. Dr. Katsuya Takasu, a surgeon frequently appearing on major Japanese variety shows, posted on the evening of June 1st, local time, stating, "If anyone is willing to catch this Chinese person and hand him over to me, I will pay a reward of 5 million yen on the spot." This statement sparked considerable discussion. On the morning of June 2nd, he announced that he was raising the reward to 10 million yen. Ironhead quickly became a focal point of attention both domestically and internationally, sparking intense debate among Chinese netizens. His appalling behavior surprisingly received applause from some nationalist supporters. Many young nationalists who have been repeatedly educated by the Chinese Communist Party to harbor anti-Japanese sentiments gleefully wrote comments such as, "Well done, nicely executed, nothing wrong, it's just a toilet. So that's what the Yasukuni Shrine toilet looks like. And which hero did this? Thumbs up to you." Of course, there are also rational individuals who refuse to let the Chinese people be stigmatized as an inferior nation due to Ironhead's actions. This sparked a wave of public opinion condemning Ironhead. Some netizens believe that Ironhead's actions were solely to attract attention and gain views. Graffiti is already uncivilized, and urinating is even more outrageous. Even if he was expressing his emotions, doing so in an uncivilized and immoral manner is truly embarrassing, bringing disgrace on an international level. A web writer noted that Ironhead used despicable methods to express his emotions, and no matter how fervently some people may feel about these emotions, they come across as equally despicable. In fact, the reason people like Ironhead dare to do such things is precisely because they know that Japan today is no longer the militaristic state it was before World War II, but rather a country globally recognized for its democracy and rule of law. Someone sarcastically commented in the discussion, "Why doesn't Ironhead go to Vladivostok? In the city center, there's a statue of Muravyov, a butcher who invaded China and massacred Chinese people. This guy not only seized our land, but also committed genocide against the Chinese in the Far East. He wasn't brought to justice. Instead, Russia has made him a national hero, putting his image on the 5,000 ruble banknote and celebrating his conquest of Vladivostok with great fanfare every year. If Ironhead is truly patriotic, he shouldn't apply double standards. He could go to Vladivostok and urinate on Muravyov's statue, but even with 100 times the courage, he wouldn't dare. This coward only dares to act out in civilized places, not in barbaric ones." Douyin vlogger Brother Dao's sharp commentary posted a video stating, "It's a tragedy of our times to regard a thug as a national hero." In the past few days, I have harshly criticized the controversial internet celebrity, Ironhead, for his behavior of urinating in Japan to oppose Japan, merely to gain views and make money. Many of Ironhead's fans have sent me private messages insulting me, calling me unpatriotic, a traitor, and a Japanese sympathizer, while strongly supporting Ironhead, claiming he is a national hero. What I want to say is that treating such vulgar and low-class behavior as a heroic act is a grave insult and the desecration of the term national hero. To truly bring honor to our country, we must stand tall and proudly defeat Japan in the ring, on the battlefield, in science, in academia, in industry, in economic development, in public welfare, in social civilization, and in cultural education, earning the respect of the Japanese people. This is what truly brings glory to our nation and qualifies someone as a national hero. Sneaking around in the middle of the night to urinate in a safe, unattended place in Japan, and then quickly fleeing back to post a video, claiming credit for it is utterly shameful. Only a dog would urinate on a pillar like that. To present oneself as patriotic, will there one day be someone like Ironhead who urinates under the Statue of Liberty in the US to perform an anti-American act? True patriotism should be dignified and honorable. Another recent news story. North Korea has sent a large number of air balloons filled with feces, toilet paper, and other waste to South Korea. This act not only made South Koreans feel defiled, but also increased their aversion to the Kim regime. It also showed the world just how shameless North Korea can be. The impact of Ironhead's urination is somewhat similar. Ironhead, whose real name is Dong Guanmin, is 38 years old. He dropped out of middle school and worked various jobs, none of which he held for long. In 2013, he went to Chenzhou, Hunan, to run a casino and was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for illegally detaining someone over a gambling dispute. After being released from prison, Ironhead struggled to find work and was considered a drifter until June 6, 2023, when he registered Hanzhou Iron Fist Cultural Communication Company. Using the internet, he began live streaming. To attract attention, he engaged in debunking scams to gain followers, quickly becoming an internet celebrity. Once he gained popularity, he started selling products through his streams. During the summer of 2023, Ironhead fiercely criticized the education and training industry, including New Oriental. It was around this time that his negative reputation began to escalate. A few days later, he quietly announced that he would no longer target the education and training sector. A netizen revealed that on January 12th this year, Ironhead was selling products on his live stream while recounting his experiences with prostitution, which led to his ban across the entire internet after being reported by viewers. On January 19th, Ironhead's accounts on platforms such as Douyin, Kaishou, and Weibo were all banned. Ironhead became an internet celebrity through his online presence, so he and his team are well versed in how to attract attention and generate traffic. To make a swift comeback, he needed to quickly clear his name from past scandals, such as his imprisonment and boasting about prostitution in his live stream, and transform himself into a positive figure. This led to the anti-Japanese stunt on June 1st. Although many nationalist supporters praised Ironhead's actions and the incident generated a lot of traffic, from the current public opinion, it seems unlikely that Ironhead will make a successful comeback through this incident. To truly understand the direction of public sentiment on an issue, one must look at the perspective of Hu, the editor-in-chief who has always been known for cleaning up for the party. Former editor-in-chief of the Global Times, Hu Xijin, who knows China's nationalists, little pinks, and keyboard warriors all too well, commented on Weibo that our patriotism should focus on quality. He stated that performances of patriotism, like Ironhead's, which involve breaking local laws and disregarding public rules, might entertain and create online buzz, but they are not commendable or worthy of encouragement. More precisely, such actions have nothing to do with true patriotism. Using online stunts for traffic and mixing them with patriotism only pollutes the concept of it, driving away rational patriots and causing internal conflicts within the patriotic camp. It does not unite patriotic citizens, but rather creates division. On June 3rd, during a Chinese Foreign Ministry press conference, a question was raised about China's stance on the Ironhead incident. The spokesperson, Mao Ning, first criticized Japan's attitude towards the Yasukuni shrine. She then added, "At the same time, I would like to remind Chinese citizens abroad to abide by local laws and regulations to express their demands rationally." The spokesperson also acknowledged that Ironhead had violated local laws. As the US and other Western countries intensify their comprehensive containment and blockade against China, China is reconsidering its strategic position regarding Japan and South Korea. During the recent trilateral summit, Chinese leadership emphasized the importance of developing Sino-Japanese relations, boosting economic and trade exchanges, and designating 2025 to 2026 as the years for cultural exchange between China, Japan, and South Korea. In this friendly atmosphere, Ironhead's reckless behavior in Japan came at a critical moment, significantly cooling down the atmosphere of the first high-level summit between China, Japan, and South Korea in 4 years. The Chinese authorities can't openly criticize this kind of populist behavior, so they have to rely on Hu Xijin to make indirect criticisms. It seems that genuine cooperation between China, Japan, and South Korea is impossible for now. The statements from the leaders of Japan and South Korea show that they are not on the same page at all. The Ironhead urination incident is not just an extreme act by an individual, it also reflects a current trend in China where traffic and views are valued over morality. His actions have also hit sensitive nerves between China and Japan. Vice Chairman of the Democratic China Front in Japan, Wang Dai, told Voice of America that the graffiti incident at Yasukuni Shrine has been widely reported by the Japanese mainstream media. Local public opinion has almost unanimously condemned Ironhead's behavior. Wang Dai said, "Even Japanese leftists who oppose the war find Ironhead's actions very perplexing. This means that such a vulgar act goes beyond the normal scope of war protest. The average Japanese person views the shrine as a sacred place for honoring the dead. Such behavior is beyond what many Japanese people can tolerate." Japan enshrines Class A war criminals from World War II at the Yasukuni Shrine, and Japanese officials often visit it. This is one of the reasons for the continued tensions in Sino-Japanese relations. Wang Dai said, "During World War II, the Japanese military did indeed commit brutal acts. This is undeniable, but the Chinese Communist Party tends to exaggerate these events. This kind of patriotic education has cultivated a group of little pinks. They have been brainwashed by the Chinese Communist Party to direct their anger outward against anyone who questions the legitimacy of the CCP's rule. This way, internal conflicts are less likely to be directed at the party. To some extent, this is beneficial for those in power. However, for overseas Chinese, especially those living in Japan, this is very disadvantageous. The Japanese society may view Chinese people as lacking taste and not respecting laws and social ethics." Wang Dai believes that while Ironhead has gained traffic and attention, the Chinese community in Japan has suffered greatly because of him. A Chinese resident, Shaolin, who has lived in Japan for over 35 years, stated that the Chinese Communist Party has been promoting nationalism for many years. There is reason to believe that when the controversial internet celebrity planned this action, he considered the political environment in China and was confident that he would not be punished upon returning to China. Shanling said that despite the large number of Chinese tourists and consumers visiting Japan after the pandemic, this has done little to improve the Japanese perception of Chinese people. He shared a personal experience to illustrate his point. In a Japanese department store, after exiting the elevator, he saw a group of 10 to 20 Chinese people who had bought a lot of items. They were tired and, lacking enough chairs, they sat on the floor, with even children lying down. Before the influx of Chinese tourists, he had never seen such behavior. Japanese people are a very disciplined nation. One of the most important lessons taught to Japanese children in schools is, don't cause trouble for others. Chinese people often speak loudly in public spaces, which is something the Japanese people are not accustomed to. According to a survey by the Nikkei in February this year, 74% of Japanese people dislike China, with a proportion exceeding 70% for 6 consecutive years. Additionally, 87% of Japanese people consider China a threat. Recently, another incident involving gaining traffic under the guise of patriotism is the Xiangpiao incident. During the May Day holiday this year, the Chinese milk tea brand Xiangpiao claimed that their products sold in Japan had labels mocking Japan. This garnered enthusiastic support from nationalist supporters and sales surged for a short period. However, just 3 days later, netizens exposed this as false advertising. Public opinion quickly turned against the brand, and its stock price plummeted. On May 3rd, a netizen posted that Meko fruit juice tea, a product under the Xiangpiaopiao brand, had labels mocking Japan's nuclear-contaminated water at the Kyowa store in Okubo, Japan. The labels included phrases like, "Shameless 0.1% of land pollutes 70% of the ocean," and "We can do without Japan, but not without the ocean." Xiangpiaopiao's official response was that they were unaware of this and claimed it was the work of an individual employee acting independently. However, some netizens questioned the authenticity of the hype, suggesting that the circulated images were staged and that the cup sleeves held by tourists were different from those in the store. In response, a Chinese media reporter called the Kyowa store in Okubo, Japan, and the employee who answered stated that the store had never sold milk tea with such cup sleeves. They repeatedly said, "We really don't know where the photos came from." An informed netizen revealed that it wasn't a Japanese store at all, but rather a Chinese-run supermarket in Tokyo's Koreatown. On May 4th, Xiangpiaopiao's official Weibo account responded again, stating, "Our employee did a great job." Additionally, a photo shows Xiangpiaopiao's chairman, Zhang Jianqi, holding a sign to welcome the returning employee at the airport late at night. On May 5th, Xiangpiaopiao's director, Yang Dongyun, interacted with netizens in a live stream, announcing that the employee had been given a cash reward and that the day's live stream revenue will be donated to an environmental foundation. According to a report by Sina, some netizens flocked to Xiangpiaopiao's official Douyin live stream to purchase the same products, causing daily sales to surge from 2,500 yuan to 1 million yuan, an increase of 400 times. Additionally, on May 6th, Xiangpiaopiao's stock price hit the daily limit at the opening and continued to rise, with a cumulative increase of nearly 20% by May 7th. Before the staging accusations surfaced, some people had already expressed confusion over Xiangpiaopiao's actions. From a purely commercial perspective, it seems illogical and counterproductive for a foreign brand to harshly criticize Japanese politicians in Japan. A brand that has finally entered a foreign market would typically do everything possible to please local consumers and increase sales, not shoot oneself in the foot. Netizens criticize, saying, "Xiangpiaopiao isn't patriotic. It's all about money. They are really good at self-directed drama, and this is clearly turning patriotism into a business." Other netizens condemn the unscrupulous practices of the company, saying, "To become popular, they will do anything. You might choose not to do something, but staging and directing yourself is too much. This is just exploiting the patriotic sentiment for profit." Analysts have differing opinions on whether this kind of so-called anti-Japanese patriotism is wise. However, if a company manipulates its product packaging to falsely claim it is criticizing Japanese politicians locally, pretending to be an anti-Japanese hero, and uses this non-existent marketing strategy to gain significant traffic and profits, the nature of the act changes considerably. This behavior constitutes consumer fraud and violates business ethics. Worse still, it exploits the nationalistic feelings and patriotic enthusiasm for netizens, turning patriotism into a cheap business tactic. Using patriotism as a marketing tool might bring short-term benefits, but it is destined to ruin the company's future.